Okay, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Hello.
Sure
Yep.
can.
Tommy. Awesome.
Yep.
You can see that screen.
Yes.
All right. Well, welcome along to this Level Up event. This is, I guess, a 30-minute personal development webinar, just designed to help us upskill ourselves, to help us, be better a little bit every day. I'll just mute everyone out. You can take if you need to. Yeah, so it's about, being a little bit better today than we were yesterday, being a bit better tomorrow than we were today. And so, so we're going to be running these events weekly, and we're going to be creating a back catalogue of all of these to be able to, go back through and search and share with your team members and so forth as you're growing your organization. So this one is based on leadership. So this has become pretty much one of my favorite topics in the world. And it's organically happened that way because I never started out to go, hey, I want to learn all about leadership. I want to become the best leader I can be or anything like that. I just found an interest here and a passion here, and I guess a thirst for knowledge and improvement in this area. And I think for me that started with sport. Sports, we know there's a lot of leadership qualities that are needed to win in team sport, especially. And then obviously there's business and all sorts of areas where leadership can be a positive influence on our lives. So what I wanted to do, just throw a few questions out, right? So, who is a leader? How do we define a leader? Why is good leadership important? And who are you leading? So, we want to just, I suppose, ponder on these questions for ourselves right now. Who are you following? And how do you become a better leader? I often say it's not the answer that enlightens, it's the question. And, if we're not getting the answers that we need to be asking better questions. And I like these questions, which is why I chucked them in there, because it just stimulates the right type of thinking for me. So how do we define a leader? What is good leadership? What's important? Who are we leading? Wherever we're at in our lives, I can guarantee you're leading someone. Now, with the business that we're all a part of, it's all about leadership. We talk about leadership calls, we talk about leadership positions, all of these sorts of phrases that we use. But at the end of the day, anyone who's a part of our business is a leader, because they're stepping up, they're breaking away from the norm, and they're forging their own path. They are their own leader in a sense. And so, wherever we fit in life, we're leading someone. But then that next question of who are we following? So who do we have as leaders? Who do we look up to as a leader? Who do we aspire to be as a leader? Who are we learning from and getting mentoring from as a leader? And then how do we improve ourselves? So that's what this training is about. It's about learning a bit about defining a leader, learning why leadership is so important, learning about our own leadership and where we're at in terms of leadership, and then some awareness around who we follow and why are we following them, and why is what they're about important to us. And then obviously the last one, improving. This is all about improving. So the thing I love in leadership, I guess the person who is the world, pretty much the world authority when it comes to leadership, is a guy by the name of John C. Maxwell. I'm going to spend some time with him over the years through different things, but I love his 5 levels. So that's what I'm basing this on now, because it just makes so much sense, and it's easy to grasp, and it's easy to progress. So level 1, the first level of leadership, is position. Now, when we look at our company, that's easy. There's a hierarchy as to how the structure is built, and there's ranks. So, you can get that position at a leadership level or a leadership position. Now, leading from position, it's literally the lowest form of leadership, because, you know, when we think of traditional business and you know, the corporate world, really anyone can be given a leadership position. So it's not like a earned type thing. Sometimes, you know, sometimes it is, but a lot of the time it's just, I guess, a progression, and people are given that. And so there's nothing wrong with having a leadership position, obviously, because it's the first key thing that we're looking for, but everything is wrong with relying on that to get people to follow. Now, in our business, in traditional world, the corporate world, you know, you would have seen people that try and pull rank. You know, why should I do what you're saying? Well, because here's an example in this business, because I'm a purple diamond. You know, what kind of an idiot, you know, pulls that type of thing out? I say because I'm a purple diamond, or a blue diamond, or a diamond, or sapphire, or whatever it is. It's an absolute terrible place to lead from, pulling rank. So level 1 leadership, it only works if we have leverage over our followers. And so this is why the corporate world, in my eyes, sucks and is terrible, because they follow us because they believe they have to. You know, if you've got a supervisor or a manager and, you know, they're asking you to do something, or they're doing things a certain way or whatever, we feel obliged that we have to go and do it their way or follow what they're saying and so forth, because of this, because of rank, and because of the fact that if we don't, there's a consequence for that. You know, the corporate world could be, you know, a demotion through the organization, or a written warning, or docking of pay, or termination, or whatever it is. So position only works with that leverage. Now, position doesn't automatically result in influence, okay? And volunteers are aware that they don't have to follow anyone. So when you think about our business, you know, our business it's full of volunteers. Nobody has to be here. People are choosing to be here. People have partnered with the company and they're choosing to be here. So people that have position, just that position alone doesn't make them a leader, doesn't give them influence. And nobody has to go and follow anyone, or be influenced by them, or their coaching and mentoring, just because they've got position. And so success in this organization, success in every organization, is about getting your crew, getting the team in a flying V, getting everybody working in synergy, and being able to influence that to happen. So position is obviously nothing to do with that part of it. So it's a prime place for us to begin in, I guess, investing in our growth and the potential of becoming a leader. You know, this is where the seed's planted, in position. So we want to use the time that we have at this level to grow, to you know, increase our discipline, and to upskill and evolve as a leader at every chance that we can. So level 1 of position, it is, as I said here, it's the lowest level of leadership, but it's also important. You know, we still really have to have that. And I'm going to go back through some of these and highlight on a couple of things as we unwrap more and more of these levels. So level 2 is permission. So after position, we need permission. And it's permission based on relationship, or trust and rapport. So people choose to follow because they want to. So in other words, they give a leader permission to lead them. And it's that relationship and trust that has people, I guess, break down the walls and give them that permission. So to grow at this level, leaders work on getting to know their people and like really connecting with them, like knowing who they're about, what they're about, who they are deep down, what their passions, their strengths, their weaknesses, I guess, and connecting with them as a person. So you can't lead without people, right? That's what it's all about. If you're leading without people, you're just going for a walk. I love that saying. So which means that you need to learn to like people if you want to lead well. Have you ever seen those type of people that maybe they're in a leadership position, but they're really trying and want to be a leader, but they're really not a people person. They you know, they don't like people, they don't like communication, they're quite awkward socially or whatever. You know, you often find that they are not the best leader because of this exact fact. You know, it's all to do with relationship and people giving you that permission to follow. So at this level of, I guess, level 2 of leadership, that permission and relationship, we're making people a priority. And I like this saying, basically, if you like people, they'll generally like you. So, you know, thinking about where we're at with our own leadership, you know, these are little key nuggets that you want to embrace and onboard. So when you like people and treat them as individuals who have value, you begin to develop positive influence with them. So, you know, people need to know that they're liked, they're trusted, they're bringing value to the team. And then like and trust that you have in them will then be returned onto you when you're guiding them in the direction that you want the team to go, when you're leading the team and guiding them. So trust grows, which usually, struggling with my words, which usually leads to respect. And, you know, think about the great leaders that you've followed over the years. I'm certain that you would definitely trust and respect those leaders, and I'm certain that they trust and respect you and care about you. So level 2 is where solid, lasting relationships are built that create the foundation for the next level. Now, how many times in this organization have you heard people say about, you know, especially those that are I guess they are at leadership levels in the organization in terms of position, their leadership in terms of the size of their organization and what they've created here might be significant financial reward and so forth. But how many times do you hear them say one of the most valuable things is the person they've become in the process and the people they've met along the way? So you can't build a good organization here without the relationships and without the people. And, you know, that's what makes life awesome. And so, yeah, it's a byproduct of building a business. I guess the building a business is a byproduct of being a leader, and a byproduct of being a leader is having those relationships. So level 3, production and productivity, my favorite part of leadership, because this for me sets apart the below average leaders and the above average leaders. So production and productivity. So the best leaders know how to motivate their people to get things done, and getting things done is what level 3 is all about. So not just production and productivity through the team, but leading by example themselves. Leaders know to go and do something that they're not doing themselves. You know, I'm an ex-football player, and I always think about some of the great leaders in football clubs and football teams. You know, when you're down on the scoreboard, it's 3/4 time, you got 1 quarter to turn this thing around, and the captain, you know, will give a speech in the huddle at 3/4 time. And then when they break up from the huddle and you get back to the game, it's the captain that just steps things up and produces and, you know, lays down the effort and lifts the whole team by their actions, by what they're doing, by not just saying, hey, let's go out and do this, but going out and doing it. So leaders who produce results build their influence and credibility. You know, imagine in this business, imagine like we're doing this call right now. So I've, you know, posted this as an event, promoted it that I was delivering the training. But imagine if I hadn't achieved anything at all in this business. Who's going to tune in and who's going to take it on board and who's going to listen? So it's the production that I've done over the years in this business and the results that we've been able to achieve that gives credibility and some influence in what I'm sharing and what I'm saying with the crew. So people still follow but not because they have to. In terms of, you know, the lower levels of leadership, they do it because they want it, but they do it more because of the relationship, I guess. People follow level 3 leaders because of their track record. So they've got the position, they've got the relationship, and it's the track record and the proof in the pudding, the results that they've gotten, that I guess allows, I guess not allows, but that has people following them. They want to follow in their footsteps. They want to get those results that the leaders have achieved. Now, if you think about this in every area, sport, business, or you know, whatever it is, you know, we can learn the most from those people who have the track record, and that's why they get a big following. So the production level obviously is where work gets done. Morale improves, profits go up, retention goes up, and goals are achieved. The more you produce, the more you're able to tackle through the problems that basically face us along the way, those thorny issues. So it's by, you know, producing, getting in momentum, and creating results that it just has this roll by. You know, challenges and things always pop up. I don't like using the word problem. I'd rather use the word challenge in my vocabulary. But the thing that good leadership allows you to do, and I guess production and productivity, those challenges are still there, but you can arrive at those challenges in style. You know, you can arrive there with confidence and roll your way through those challenges. So at level 3, leading and influencing others becomes fun because, you know, everyone, if not at least majority of people, those who want to, are moving forward together. So the team rises to another level of effectiveness because of the relationship and the production and productivity working together. So level 4, people development. So this is where level 4 can be summed up in one word, basically: reproduction. So we say duplication in this business. So the goal at level 4 as a level 4 leader is to identify and develop as many leaders as you can by investing in them and helping them grow. So the reason is simple. When there are more leaders, more of the organization's mission can be accomplished. The people you choose to develop may show great potential for leadership. You know, you may recognize that, you may see that in the way they're operating day to day. Or they may just be diamonds in the rough. You know, they may be someone that's just, you've just grabbed and you've, you know, poured the effort and energy into them to polish them up as a leader. But the main idea remains the same, whether they, I guess, have these natural leadership talents or whether you've, you know, polished those. You know, when you invest in them, you can reproduce yourself. That's what it is at the end of the day. People say, you know, are leaders born or are leaders created? Now, yes, some of it, I think they're born and they're nurtured. You know, some people recognize the leadership qualities in themselves. A lot of people don't. It takes other people to recognize those leaderships in them and then grab them and work through what the stuff we're talking about here to have them flourish as a leader themselves. So the more you raise up new leaders, the more you would change the lives of all members of the team. As a result, people will follow you because of what you've done for them personally. And as an added bonus, some of those mentoring relationships are likely to last a lifetime. Again, going back to what you see here, some of my best friends in the world right now are people that I've only been a part of this company, people that have been leaders for me, people that I've lent on and followed as a leader, and people that have used me as a leader for themselves. It's crazy how much of a connection and how much of a bond and how closely tied you can be together when you start to understand, you know, this process and working your way through it. So to grow at the people development level, you need to make investing in leaders a priority and take intentional steps every day to help them grow. So again, having awareness around this and you know, knowing that needs to be done, I guess, and then scheduling that in and making it a priority, making it happen. You know, if you're busy, if your day is busy, if whatever's happening at level 4, this should be one of the major things that goes into the day to make sure that it is happening no matter what. And, you know, maybe other things can be sacrificed slightly. So level 5, this is the pinnacle. So the highest level of leadership is also the most challenging to attain. It requires longevity as well as intentionality. So to reach level 5, you must be willing to invest your life into the lives of others for the long haul. You know, this is not something that, you know, is I'll do this for a few years and see how it goes, or I'll do this for 10, 15 years and contribute. This is a lifetime and a lifestyle of investing into others, as it says, for the long haul. If you stick with it, if you continually focus on both growing yourself at every level and developing leaders who are willing and able to develop other leaders, you may find yourself at the pinnacle. So again, this is not something like, I am nowhere near a level 5 leader here, right? But this is where you aspire to get to. Now, here's the crazy thing. The commitment to becoming a pinnacle leader is sizable, obviously, but the payoffs are massive. So level 5 leaders develop level 5 organizations. They create opportunities other leaders don't. They create a legacy in what they do. People follow them because of who they are and what they represent. So in other words, their leadership gains a positive reputation. So as a result, level 5 leaders often will transcend their position, their organization, and sometimes even the industry. So, you know, I was actually on a Zoom call just an hour ago, and I spoke about a gentleman by the name of Tony Robbins. Obviously, most people have heard of him. So, you know, where he started from and the skills that he's honed, the leader he's become along the way, he's completely transcended the industry that he started in to just go to this whole new level and this whole new authority and a whole new leader in a different realm. But it was going through the organization that he was in. It was understanding this and learning this and stepping up from each level that's got him there. So you can build, I guess, your leadership to whatever level and stay there and maintain and be obviously very happy. So I guess some important things to remember here. This is the number one thing that gets neglected. And I see, just from observations that I've made, where I see people's leadership struggle and let them down. When they move from one level to another level, they quit doing what they were doing on that previous level. So when you're moving to the next level, we don't leave behind the other levels. You don't leave behind the activities and what's important at the other levels. You add to them. The next level adds to it. You know, so I guess when you're in production and productivity, you don't neglect the relationships and the people and caring for those people and pouring into those people. You know, when you're at level 4 and you are working on duplicating yourself and growing other leaders and making that a priority, absolutely, we need to do that. But we don't neglect the production and productivity, and we don't neglect the relationships that we're building with the rest of the team and so forth. And so, you know, higher levels of leadership, you know, shouldn't be taken lightly, and it is a big commitment. And yes, all of that is true, but the payoff is also, as it says, massively beneficial and very, very valuable in who we become in that process. So what now? Like, after learning a little bit about this, and believe me, this is just scratching the surface here. This is just some of the key things that I really wanted to share with you for, as I said at the beginning, to work out, okay, where am I at in my own leadership? Am I doing a good job at where I'm at? Do I want to go to that next level? What do I need to do if I do want to go to that next level? Who am I following? And based on what I've seen here, are they a good leader? Are they someone that's going to be able to help me get to where I want to be in life, based on their leadership? So, you know, now you know a little bit about what to look for. You've got some awareness around that, and you should have some clarity on exactly where you're at. You know, the thing with, I guess, a map, right? If you go into a shopping mall, let's say I've never been to Paris. So if I go into a shopping mall in Paris and there was a sign there that said, you know, let's say I wanted to find the, let's say, pretend I'm Rebecca. I want to find the Louis Vuitton store in this shopping mall. I can go to the chart and it can go, you know, here's the list on the side. It's got Louis Vuitton, and then it's got the whole map of the shop there, and it says, say, it's at G5. So I go G5, bang, sure enough, there's Louis Vuitton. That's fantastic. But if I don't know where I'm at on that map, how the hell am I ever going to get there? So knowing where you want to go is important, right? It's almost everything. But the last little bit, which makes almost everything worthless if you don't have it, is clarity on where you're at. So hopefully this has given you a little bit of clarity. If you're aspiring to be a great leader, and you want to hone those skills and work your way through leadership, get really clear on where you're at now, and then make sure that we're doing a great job at that level of our own leadership, and then you know, work on those things that we need at the next level. So plan and schedule activity to fulfill the requirements to be an effective leader at your level. Look at what you need to do and who you need to become to step up to that next level. But remember, we are in an attraction and relationship business. So if we are in an attraction and a relationship business, this is why leadership is so important. This is why I hear people go on like a broken record about leadership skills, leadership training. You know, this person's a good leader, that person's struggling with leadership. You know, this person's business isn't quite where they're at because of, you know, their leadership. So knowing what we know now and some of the things that we've learned here, you know, we always say to attract the right people, we need to become an attractive person. You know, I know the people I like to hang around. And at the end of the day, when I break that down and look below just that superficial surface level of me wanting to hang around them, usually it's because they're a good leader. They're meeting these requirements of what it takes to be a good leader. And so if we're looking to grow an organization, if we're looking to grow a team, if we're looking to achieve significant results, we're never going to do that by ourselves. We've got to do that with a team, and we're going to build a team through and retain a team through great leadership. You know, we've got a system that can recruit and can build, but this business, as we know, it's all about retention, and that's why that leadership's so important. So first of all, attract the right people, and then build those relationships using those leadership skills to retain the team, and go forth and create massive amounts of success. So hopefully there's been some value in there, guys. If you've got any questions, we can hang around for a few more minutes and answer a few questions. As I said, this will be recorded and it'll be hosted up on our Vimeo channel, so that we can have this for you know, for our business partners to plug into and to learn a little bit more about leadership along the way. Because, you know, as I said, the thing that I find incredibly valuable with John Maxwell's 5 levels of leadership is, regardless of where you think that you're at, the fact that you are in this business tells me that you're a leader. We're a leadership business. We are a group of leaders that grow leaders. That's crazy, right? That's why it's a beautiful thing, this business. It's leaders growing leaders. So regardless of where you're at, where you think you're personally at, I can tell you now you're at some point of those 5 levels. And, you know, if we can nail it, if we can do a really good job at the level that we're at, we can stay there and we can build a great business, is what it takes to get to that level. But if we want a larger organization than what we have, and we're nailing it at that level, it's telling us we need to go to the next level. You know, the speed of the business is the speed of the leader. The size of the business is the size of the leader. You'll see people join this organization and go bang through to a rank and sit there for a long time. You're probably looking at a guy with a green square around his frame right now who built a business to a point really quick, but been there for a long time. I've built a business to where my leadership is at, and it's taking me a long time to lift my leadership to another level and be consistent enough. Remember all that what we just spoke about in the training. So, you know, this is obviously why I've picked this as a topic to share now, because it's something that I'm working on purely myself to bring myself up to another level. Because if I want to have the impact I want to have, if I want to grow the business that I want to have, you know, it's the guy in the mirror that it's all about. And so I need to become the leader who deserves the business, who can support the business and support the people. So anyone have any questions? No questions? Awesome. All right. Well, have a great weekend. Be good. And if you can't be good at it. Weekend's wrapping up, and big month coming up. Right. I love it when, you know, obviously it's the first. Is it the first today? It's the second today. I'm a slacker, aren't I? It's the second today. So, you know, Monday being the third, it's, you know, right at the start of a month. I love it when a month lines up really close to the start of a week, because then it just fires me up, because I'll plan my whole week out tonight when I get home, and be able to kick off a month with a sharp plan from the night before, I guess, right at the start of the month. And then I guess for Australia, New Zealand, it's a mega month. Lots of stuff, lots of exciting stuff happening in our company for Australia and New Zealand. For everyone else, it's still a good month. Big August. We're going to have a big August. So thanks for jumping on, guys. Hopefully you found some value in that. And next week, we've got an exciting call happening. I've verbally locked the guest in, so I'm not going to let the cat out the bag right now. I just want to lock it in writing, so that we've got it, and we've got it scheduled. But that'll be posted up tomorrow at some point. And yeah, we've got a really exciting leadership call planned for next week. Have a great week, guys, and I'll catch you soon.
Thanks, Mike. See you guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. Bye. See you.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.